Rich Pham Stories. Fairy Tale. Toad Sues Heaven's King. Once upon a time, there was a toad who was very persistent and courageous. When it is hot and sunny, there has been no rain for a long time. The fields, rivers, and lakes are arid, making the life of all species stand still, because there is no water to drink and the fields have no water to plant. The fields and crops were damaged by all the drought. All living things struggled for a lack of water. Toad walked around where he was living and saw everyone in the house complaining about the heat and no water to drink. Toad saw that, so he decided to go to the sky and ask why it has been a long time since it rained on the earth. Toad wandered under the hot sun, hungry and thirsty. Many times fell down because of thirst, but the toad still tried to walk. Toad meets Rooster. The rooster asked Toad, "Hey, Toad, it's so hot and dry. Why don't you stay at home to cool off the heat? But where do you have to go so tired?" Toad replied, "I want to go up to the sky and ask Heaven King, why hasn't it rained for a long time? If we wait any longer, all species will die of thirst." The rooster heard Toad say that, so he decided to ask Toad to go with him. Toad and Rooster walked together for a while and met Tiger. Tiger asked Toad, "Hey, Mr. Toad, where are you going and Rooster going so miserably? Aren't you afraid that the hot sun will dry you to death?" Toad replied, "We want to go to the sky and ask Heaven King, why hasn't it been so long since it rained? If we wait any longer, all species will die of thirst, Tiger." Hearing Toad's words, the tiger asked Toad and the rooster to let him go to heaven together so that Toad could have more friends. "We'll help each other," Tiger said. Toad and Rooster the same time said, "Yeah, Mr. Tiger." So Toad, Rooster, and Tiger all three went up and down on dangerous high mountains roads when they met a bee. Bee asked Toad, "Hey, Mr. Toad, where do you and your friends go and feel so tired? Aren't you afraid of the heat and thirst to die?" Toad replied, "We went up to the sky to ask the King of Heaven, why hasn't it been so long since it rained? If we wait any longer, all species will die of heat and thirst." Hearing Toad say that, the bee amazed and asked Toad to be allowed to go with him. The four of them helped each other and together crossed every slope to go to heaven. The higher they went, the hotter and drier they felt. The sun seemed to get bigger and hotter. heaven. A long time ago, when heaven and earth had a very close relationship with each other. The King of Heaven is the custodian of heaven and earth. All living things on earth have a beautiful and happy life. All thanks to the attentive care of the angels in heaven, whose leader is the King of Heaven. The King of Heaven always played with the fairies, but forgot to take care of the earth. So the earth dried up. Everything was starving because of lack of water. It's been 4 years the earth has been arid. After many days of going uphill and downhill, overcoming many high mountains, and finally Toad, Rooster, Tiger, and Bee also reached the gates of heaven. The weather in heaven is neither hot nor cold. Life is so happy and joyful. There is a drum in front of the gate of heaven. Whoever wants to meet the King of Heaven beats a drum, and the Jade Emperor will receive him. Toad went to the drum and beat it and waited to see if someone opened the door to take him in to meet the King of Heaven. The 4 of them waited forever, but no one appeared. So Toad beat 3 more drum beats hard and fast. The sound of the drums made the Jade Emperor, who was playing with the fairies at the peach garden, stop in surprise. Jade Emperor sent the Thunder God to open the gate to see who dared to beat the drum loudly in front of the gate of heaven. The God of Thunder opened the gate and came out and saw Toad standing by the drum and shouted, "Hey, that Toad, how dare you beat the drum to disturb the heavens?" Toad replied, "Me and my friends came here from the earth because we wanted to meet the Jade Emperor to ask why is there no rain on earth. May the God of Thunder come in and tell the Jade Emperor that we would love to see him." God of Thunder turned to heaven and said to the Jade Emperor, "There is a Toad playing a drum who wants to see the Jade Emperor to ask why the earth has not rained for a long time." The Jade Emperor replied, "I don't have the time to receive that Toad. Go out and chase them down to earth right now." God of Thunder, holding a hammer, he stepped out to open the gate of heaven and shouted loudly, "Hey, Toad, get out of this place quickly, or you will be charged with harassing the heavens." Toad replied, "The earth has been dry for a long time because there is no rain, so it is very necessary to have water. I really want to go to see the Jade Emperor and asked him to make rain so that the world won't dry out anymore. The Thunder God turned to the Jade Emperor and said, "The toad out there wants to meet the Jade Emperor to ask for permission to rain down on the earth." The Jade Emperor was playing with the fairies when he heard the Thunder God say that, so he was very angry. The Jade Emperor ordered the Thunder God to send centipedes to bite the toad. The aggressive centipede of the heaven ran to the place where the toad was sitting and shouted, "Hey, that ugly toad! Hurry back to the underworld or I'll bite you to death with my venom." Toad replied, "I have traveled thousands of miles just to meet the Jade Emperor to ask for rain. Why did I come here? But the Jade Emperor did not welcome me. I'm definitely not going anywhere." The centipede shouted, "If you don't return to the lower world, I'll bite you to death with venom." The centipede lunged forward to bite the toad with its teeth. Fast as lightning, the rooster jumped out and launched a series of kicks that made the centipede unable to dodge. The rooster said, "How dare you bite my friend centipede? I will swallow you whole." The centipede replied, "It hurts, rooster. I don't dare bite him anymore." The centipede was bitten so badly by the rooster that he ran to heaven, hid behind the white clouds because he was lost the battle. The thunder god saw that the centipede lost the battle and took off the clouds and ran to heaven to report the incident to the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor immediately ordered the Thunder God to bring the fox to bite the rooster. Thunder God right away released the fox to the gate of heaven to bite the rooster. The Thunder God saw that the centipede lost the battle and took off the clouds and ran to heaven to report the incident to the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor immediately ordered the Thunder God to bring the fox to bite the rooster. Thunder God right away released the fox to the gate of heaven to bite the rooster. The fox opened the gate of heaven and looked around, then stopped at the rooster and said, "Hey, you stupid rooster, hurry down to the underworld immediately or I will bite your neck." The rooster replied, "We came here from a far-away world to find the Jade Emperor and ask why it hasn't rained on Earth for many years. If we don't meet the Jade Emperor, we can't return home." The fox heard the rooster say this and replied, "Okay, so you don't want to live anymore?" When the fox finished speaking, he reached out to grab the rooster's neck, but as fast as lightning, the tiger rushed out and slapped the fox's face, and the fox fell upside down. Tiger shouted, "If you dare to bite my friend's neck, I'll bite your head off." The fox whispered, "Forgive me, handsome tiger. From now on, I won't dare touch your friend again." After saying this, the fox ran straight into the gray clouds and did not dare to turn around and look at the tiger. The thunder god saw that the fox lost and ran away, so he rode the clouds back to heaven to report the incident to the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor immediately ordered the thunder god to personally fight the tiger. Fast as lightning, the thunder god with a hammer appeared in front of the tiger and said, "Hey there, striped tiger, hurry back to your home where your family is waiting for you to take care of. Otherwise, I will use my thunderbolt hammer to burn you to cinders." The tiger replied, "We came here from far away because we wanted to see the Jade Emperor. We asked you to help us go to see the Jade Emperor to ask why the earth has not rained for a long time. If you don't help, we won't go anywhere." The thunder god heard the tiger speak, so he raised the thunder god hammer to make thunder and burn the tiger into cinders. The bee from the roof of Heavenly Gate saw this and quickly flew to the thunder god, the bee stinging the thunder god's eyes and nose, making him unable to dodge. The bee shouted, "If the thunder god doesn't help us go to the Jade Emperor, I will inject venom into your eyes, nose, and ears. Then you won't be able to see, smell, or hear anymore." The thunder god was stung by bees all over his body, the most painful. His eyes were swollen, his nose was enlarged, and could not see the tiger and the bee, so he ran away and said, "Stop stinging me. I'll take you to see the Jade Emperor." With a puffy face, the thunder god gathered the clouds to make a flying saucer to bring the toad, the rooster, the tiger, and the bee to meet the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor and the fairies greeted Toad's delegation with great respect. The Jade Emperor asked, "What do you come up here to see me for?" Toad replied, "Sir, we came here because we wanted to ask you why the earth has had so little rain in recent years, so it has been dry. Everything cannot live if the drought continues for a long time." The Jade Emperor replied, "It's your fault that you don't protect the environment. In the past time, in the lower world, people exploiting mines and exploiting forests without worrying about protecting nature and the environment." Toad replied, "The reason is that the Jade Emperor did not take care of the lower world sufficiently and did not remind the Thunder God to rain regularly, so the earth was dry." The Jade Emperor replied, "Do you remember years ago when the Thunder God rained regularly? You cried out for a lot of rain, so there was a flood. Do you know why the rain is normal like every year, but the floods are more frequent?" Toad replied, "Because of the heavy rain, the water could not flow quickly, so it flooded." The Jade Emperor said, "The rain is still the same every year, but the people in the lower world are clearing forests to fight." Clearing forests for farming, hills and mountains, trees and forests have been cut down to mine ore and burned thousands of hectares of forest. In those places where there were trees in the past, the water will be stored and seeped into the ground to form groundwater flowing underground. Now there are no forests, there are no trees in the mountains, so when it rains, the water flows strongly and sharply so it misses the mountains. The water flows strongly but does not seep into the ground, but flows down to a lower place, causing floods. Toad, Rooster, Tiger, and Bee all looked at each other with wide eyes and nodded. Toad asked the Jade Emperor, "Now what should we do to prevent the earth from being dry and flooded?" The Jade Emperor replied, "The only way you have to do it is replant the places you destroyed. Where mining goes, it has to be buried and planted as it was at the beginning. Do not use machines that emit a lot of carbon. Unite to protect the ecology of the earth. Currently, the earth is warming due to impact of machines, vehicles, and thermal power that have changed the climate everywhere on Earth. There's a drought in one place, a flood in another place." Toad, Rooster, Tiger, and Bee in unison thanked the Jade Emperor and promised to protect the environment together for the Earth. After a while, Toad was worried again and asked the Jade Emperor, "But right now the earth is dry, and if the drought continues, all species will be very poor. Please, the Jade Emperor, let the Thunder God make enough rain not to flood so that we don't have to dry up and die." The Jade Emperor laughed and replied, "Okay, from now on, when you want big or small rain, Look up at the sky and cry. If you cry a lot, I will give you more rain. And if you cry less, I will make it rain less. When the rain stops, the rooster must crow to let us know that the rain has stopped. When the weather is warm and beautiful, the tiger sunbathes and licks your fur, signaling that I am happy in the lower world. When it's sunny and cool, bees fly up to suck nectar, and when it's about to rain, you fly into the hive to sleep. You do this when we look down at the earth. We will know that the earth is beautiful and happy. While talking and laughing, the Jade Emperor stopped and said, "The first thing you have to do when you come to Earth is to protect ecology and protect the environment for the Earth. If you don't do what I said, don't complain to me. I will not be of any help to you if you do not protect the environment of the earth." Toad, Rooster, Tiger, and Bee replied in unison, "Yes, sir. We have understood and will protect the ecology and environment for the earth, sir." Jade Emperor, okay. Now go back to the lower world and remember to do as I told you. The earth will be green and life will be happy. When Toad, Rooster, Tiger, and Bee come to the lower world, the trees, fields, and gardens are green. The rooster stretched his neck and crowed, "Oh!" Tiger took the whole family out to sunbathe and lick his beautiful soft fur and the fur of his cubs. The garden is green and full of flowers. Bees and the whole family gather to collect nectar from flowers to bring back to the hive to make honey. By the lake, Toad's family is free to swim in the cool and clear water. When Toad feels that the weather is too hot, he looks up at the sky and calls for the Jade Emperor to make rain. Since then, all species on Earth have lived together in peace and prosperity. Summary of the story. This story teaches us to be persistent and courageous, not to give up in the face of difficulties. At the same time, we also need to know how to share and help others in difficult situations. Since then, we have learned a valuable lesson about protecting the environment and living in peace with nature. The story of Toad Sue's Heavens has inspired many people to care and unite together to protect the environment as well as protect the earth. The end. Directed by Rich Pham. Created with William Pham. Thanks.